James is going to start this hour off from Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, James, how are you?
Hey, Dave, I'm better than I deserve. I've been wanting to say that for years.
I love it. Very fun. How can I help you, sir?
I own a cybersecurity business. We've been in business about 25 years. We've got 18 employees. Last year, we did just shy of $4 million.
Good for you.
And the question I have, we've got a few employees that want to work through their lunch hour and leave an hour early.
Mm-hmm.
And am I being the crotchety old boss that doesn't understand, or am I being realistic wanting them to work the 8 hours with a break in the middle?
Mm-hmm.
But what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong ethically or morally with either idea. It's a matter of what expectations you set, and it's kind of a matter of who's in charge, you know? And so, an example of that also would be like we at Ramsey have made the decision that creativity and productivity and trust and quality of communication goes way up when we are all in the same building. And so we work from work. Is it morally wrong to work from home? No, it's not morally wrong. We have actual data points that tell us that it's less efficient and not as much work gets done, so we've chosen to not do work from home. Now, I've had some people that said they wanted to work from home, and so they quit and went to work for somebody who wanted to work from home, which I guess makes me the crotchety old boss in this scenario, right? And
Sure.
but it is my name on the side of the building, and it is my signature in the bottom of your freaking paycheck. So, and I'm not arbitrary or mean about it. It's just this is the decision we've made based on what we know. We know things move at the speed of trust, and it's very difficult to trust someone sitting in their pajamas on a Zoom call. And so it just, we don't do it, and I'm not mad about it, but other people are angry and feel entitled to tell us that we have to do something, and we're not going to do it. And it kind of feels like that's what you're experiencing. Am I reading too much into this?
No, that's exactly it, right? I had a couple newer employees start to do this, and then it's went to a couple more. And I'm just honestly afraid everybody's going to start doing it. And then I've got a customer service issue that the last hour of the day where we need stuff done and there's nobody here. Everybody's driving home.
Yeah.
So that's my big issue with it.
So I think we just sit down. It's only 18, and we just sit in a room and go, hey, guys, here's the thing, okay? The work that you do as a group includes customer service. And so if you're not here because you went home early, then the customer doesn't get served. And I hired you to, part of your job description is to take care of the customer, which means that you can't leave early. That's what our arrangement is. Now, if you want to work for someone where customer service and being available to help the customer is not part of your job description, then you would probably have to be somewhere else, because here we exist for the customer, and we're going to take care of the customer. Their needs, wants, and desires trump yours and mine. Because if we don't have a conversation with the marketplace that says, we love you, customer, and the customer says, we love you back, then we go out of business. And I don't want to go out of business. So we're going to serve the customer, and the proper way to do that is for you to be here to do that. And so I kind of let this stuff slide and let some of you work through lunch and then go home early, but that's leaving a gap in our customer service. And I'm sorry, I apologize. I shouldn't have let it slide, because now it's going to feel like I've changed my mind or gone back on something, and I really haven't. I just let y'all get away with it, and I've decided we're not going to do it that way anymore, and I just want to let everybody know.
Okay.
And, if two of them
sounds
quit,
reasonable, right?
Yeah, it's very reasonable. And if two of them quit, then they're the one that's unreasonable.
Agreed.
Because
thank you, Dave. I
and
appreciate that.
It's not, the thing you got to remember is when I'm dealing with the nuanced relationship issues with Gen Z and with millennials, I have to be very, very clear about if you happen to be one of those members of those generations that feel entitled, that you're not going to fit in here. Now, I've got a building full of Gen Z and millennials that are amazing team members. I love those generations. I think they're amazing. A whole bunch of them sitting in the booth over here doing this show right this second. And I think they do a great job because they care deeply about what they're doing, and it matters a lot. But some of their fellow members of their generation have the idea that they somehow are, because TikTok told them that they're workplace activists or something, that they get to come in and tell the guy who's paying them how he's supposed to run things. And that's upside down, and you may be the first one to correct that lesson for them.
Sure.
And so it's, you're not entitled. You work for me. We made that arrangement. I give you money. I tell you what to do.
Exactly. And your paycheck shows up on time. We just expect you to work your good 40 hours a week and be productive.
Yeah, and we, that's our arrangement. It's a fair arrangement. It's not a shock. It's not a surprise. When we hired you at Ramsey, we told you we work from work. We didn't change it after you came here. You knew what you signed up for. And then, but then to have a little hissy fit because you want to work from home or because you want to work through lunch in your case, right, is what we signed you up for. And it's okay if you don't want to do that anymore. You changed your mind. You're allowed to not work here. You can not work here and go to heaven. It's okay. So, and same with you. So you're going to lose one or two, and it's going to teach you to be much more clear on the front end, and when something like this occurs, also to nip it in the bud faster and have lots of clear accountability, because the fact that you let this go on has given them permission, and it's enhanced the entitlement, and it's going to cost you probably, but that's okay. It's a small lesson. You'll just have to do some rehires. But maybe you won't. Maybe, and I'm not suggesting you're belligerent, come in and throw your weight around, but there is this actual fact that those of us in leadership, it's a way of serving. I take it all the way back to parenting even. Folks, it's a way of serving your children to remind them that mom and dad run the house. The inmates don't run the asylum. And I love you, and I'll listen to your input, and I'll empathize with your question or your pain. But at the end of the day, I'm the dad. She's the mom. We make the call. And you don't get a vote at the end of the day. And we'd like to have your input. We want to, where do we all want to go out to eat? Where do you, tell me about your school? I want to understand. I want to be a listening ear and take all of that into my effort to serve you. But as I serve you, it means you're going to brush your teeth. As I serve, it's not an option. As I serve you, you're going to do your freaking homework. It's not an option. And I'm going to tell you once to clean your room. And then there's going to be consequences. And that's not mean. That's teaching you how to become a great adult later. And so that's what, real service sometimes involves strength, and some people aren't used to being served that way. James, you're a good man, and you got a great business. I'm proud of you. Growing that all the way up to $4 million with 18 people, and you've been doing it for a lot of decades, and you ask the right kind of questions for a small business guy with a big heart.